So why should you start playing Escape from Tarkov? Or why did I start playing Escape from Tarkov? And how did I convince my wife to start playing Escape from Tarkov? So I've been streaming off and on for around 12 years now at this point. For the last 5 years, my wife and I have been streaming together off and on. Obviously, life gets in the way. We have careers, we have kids, we have other hobbies. Why I finally gave Escape from Tarkov a shot after friends telling me for years to try it is I was so bored of everything else. And when I finally gave Tarkov that real shot and actually tried to learn it, it really hit a spot that we couldn't hit before with anything else. And I think there's some reasons behind that. And I think there's some reasons that no other games stack up to Escape from Tarkov, no matter the problems that come along with Tarkov, which things like the cheating, Unheard Edition, and the community itself, which at some point I have other videos coming out for those exact topics. But today I want to talk about why I play Escape from Tarkov and why I decided almost 12 years later since streaming, and the game's been out for what, 7 years, this last year, to finally learn it and give it a shot. With all of its issues, there's nothing else that compares to it. And I'm not trying to kiss BSG's ass by any means, because there's a lot of shit that they can do different and a lot of shit that they can improve on and be honest with and open up to the community with. There's things that they can listen to with the community instead of just the high-end streamers that play every day, 12 hours a day. That's a whole nother topic. That kind of goes along with the whole community thing we'll get into in a later video. But there's nothing else like it. The gunplay might seem sluggish, but there's a reason for it. Nothing looks like it. Nothing sounds like it. The lighting. And yeah, we can get into sound of how it's so bad too, but nobody can take away that there's nothing that sounds like it. Every raid is different. Every time you do a task, it's different. Every fight is different. And I think that's what makes Tarkov so special. And I wish I would have started playing earlier, but I don't know if I would have fell in love with it back then. I was looking for a game that I could just work on for a long time. Just something I could always go back to, learn, work on, and my ability to get through it as fast as possible didn't hinder the fun that I was having. And I found that with Tarkov. If you want to be one of those players that start of a wipe, you're finished what you want to do within 2.5 weeks in, and you're over leveled, and now you're bored and bitching about the game, I don't care how many hours you have, and I don't care how many times you've done the tasks. If you're not going to sit back and enjoy it for the game for what it is, then that's kind of your fault. And I know people are going to start saying, well, you're new and you don't have thousands of hours and you haven't done it 1,000 times. You're right. And I might be there in a few years, but for right now, I'm just enjoying doing the tasks and learning the maps and not just rushing through it just to get it done. And I think that's the big thing, is just not rushing through to get it done. Not beaming straight for these tasks and just trying to get them out of the way. We're actually trying to enjoy the situations of the game, enjoy the environment, enjoy the different builds and the weather and just everything else that goes along with it. And we're just enjoying it and taking it in. It's hard to like put my finger on like the perfect why we're enjoying it so much and why I'm personally not getting bored of it. I think it has a lot to do with how hard it is, how much there is to learn. I mean, there's guys with 6, 7, there's players with 6, 7, 8,000 hours, 10,000 hours and still learning something new or getting lost. And there's no other game like that. There isn't. Not in this genre, not in an FPS shooter. Or not in an FPS, nothing like that. There's nothing out there like it. It's worth the shot. Watching it is painful. Playing it can be painful. Learning it, extremely painful. The highs are high. The lows are lows. That's every game like this right now. The other two that have tried to come out, and then the cycle that came out, nothing compares to it. The highs didn't feel as high. The lows didn't feel as low. And even this wipe with Tarkov, with the changes they made back with the flea and stuff like that. You know, where I'm not going to get into that again. We talked about that last video, and the more I've been playing it, I understand everybody's side of that, so I'm not going to get into that. It's fine. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie. It is nice to find a GPU and not lose it. But still, at the end of the day, you don't see the risk versus reward in any other game. It's just another game. And Tarkov has that special spot. Like, they have something so unique and so different still that I know it feels like they're just letting it go, or they keep talking about, was it Russia 2028 or whatever the hell they're calling it. Oh, they're just going to give up on Tarkov. Like, no, they're not. They can't. This is their bread and butter. I just think they have a vision for it, and they're trying to cater to the player base and their own vision at the same time. And you know, people are going to get into the whole arena thing too and things like that. And here's my take on arena. I think right now it's overpowered when it comes to what you get out of it. I think it was failing. And it was. The player base was failing. It needed change. They changed it. I'm not saying it's not for the better for arena itself. They definitely made it worth playing to play the main game, to get the numbers for that game. So call it for what it is, but that's exactly what it is business. And at the end of the day, BSG is a business, and thinking otherwise is just silly. 99% of you have never run a business. You have to make money, and sometimes you have to do weird decisions to the community's eyes to end up making money, but there is a fine line between just making a profit and being really weird about it. And that's the Unheard Edition, which, yes, I bought, but I already had EOD. And that's a whole nother topic for another day. We've been talking about it on stream the last couple weeks, but I think if you're thinking about learning Escape from Tarkov, you do it. Try it. Even the standard account. If you're organized, it's enough space. But take your time. Have some fun in it. Learn it. Enjoy the tasks and take it all in. And I think you'll really love this game. If you ignore the cheats that are just going to happen, because it happens. If you ignore the chads with little wieners and big egos, or whatever you want to call it, they're running around. And they will make fun of you on their stream. It's just part of it. That's a whole nother video. But if I can convince my wife to learn and play this game and enjoy watching this game and learning it, who's played nothing but Overwatch and Halo, I think you can learn it too. I think you can really enjoy it if you put the time into learning it and taking the game for what it is and just sitting back and enjoying it. Like, you're going to get frustrated. That's every game. But get through the frustration, and I think you're really going to love it. Anyways, that's all I had for today. Just a short little talking video about why you should play Escape from Tarkov, and I think you should give it a chance. We're Canuckin' Nuts, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the stream.